Hi everybody, in this video we're going to talk about slope and we're going to be able to determine the slope of a line given 2 points on that line and a table. So let's first talk about what we've done before. When we have been looking at slope, we've just been looking at a graph. So we know that we can do rise over run to find the slope. But if you're not given the graph, we can also use 2 points on that line to find the slope of that line. So notice x1, y1, x2, y2. We are going to use this slope formula, y2 minus y1, all divided by x2 minus x1. So if you're not writing anything down, I would at least write this formula down because you will need to know it. Okay, before I go on and practice, I want to show you guys why this formula is really the same as rise over run. So we know rising is in the y direction, right? So here, we're just going to say, hey, how far do you get from y1 to y2? Well, we're going to subtract those two numbers to find the difference. Same thing with running. Running is in the left and right direction, which is the x direction. So here, we're just going to subtract the x's. Isn't that kind of cool? Okay, so let's look at an example. We're going to find the slope between these 2 points. When we're finding the slope, again, we need to use this formula. And step 1 is going to be to label the points. So notice x1, y1. We're going to say, hey, this is the x value of our first point. This is the y value of our first point. And then x value of my second point and y value of my second point. So label first. Then we are going to fill in our formula. So we know that the slope is y2 minus y1, all divided by x2 minus x1. All I'm doing is taking 8 minus 5 and putting that on top, and then 4 minus 2 on bottom. This is really important. Make sure that if you choose this point as the second point, 8 goes first, then subtracts 5, and then on the bottom, 4 needs to go first and then subtract 2. So make sure you label x1, y1 and x2, y2. Okay, then all we're going to do is we're going to simplify. We have to simplify the top and the bottom of the fraction first. So 8 minus 5 gives me 3. 4 minus 2 gives me 2. If you can simplify this fraction further, go ahead and do that. But at this point, we are done. So my slope is 3 over 2. Okay, if we are ever given a table, which you guys might see, you are going to use the same slope formula. You can pick any 2 points on that table. It does not matter. So maybe I'll pick the middle ones. I'm going to label them. So here's my x. Here's my y. So negative 3, 7. Here's my first point. Negative 6, 9 is my second point. Label x1, y1, x2, y2. Plug it in the formula, and you're going to do the same exact thing. Simplify, and then that'll give you your slope. Okay, last thing before we leave, I want to talk about zeros. So zeros are always kind of tricky. If you ever have a slope that is equal to 0 over any number. So for this example, it's 0 over 3. We're like, oh, I don't really like zeros. Here is your cheat sheet. Can you divide by 0? If there is a number on top and a 0 on bottom, no. You cannot divide by 0. But if the 0 is on top and there is a number on the bottom, that is okay. So here I'm like, oh, this guy's okay because the 0's on the top and my slope will equal 0. And if we think about a graph, remember, that's just your horizontal line. Remember, your treadmill is set at 0 steepness. Okay, let's do one more. So now, if our slope has a 0 on the bottom, I'm like, that is not okay because I'm dividing by 0. So the slope here is actually going to be undefined. And remember, we're going to remember goofy going all the way down to the floor, right? Undefined. When you are dividing by 0, I want you to put that the slope is going to be undefined and you're going to have an up and down line here. Okay, if y'all have any questions, come find me. If not, I will see y'all in the next one.